Good afternoon, I'm Ginger MK, and today I want to talk to you about survival versus your emergency evacuation bag, your go bag, because they're two different things, and a friend of mine was looking at my bag that I discussed with you last week, and they were pretty stunned. You see, it's based off of an old Army Reserve 72-hour kit supply list. And this is what I've got. While I generally avoid tactical stuff, I went with all the Molly webbing pouch and backpack stuff because I can separate it and break it down. So I don't have to carry everything. But everything is there for when, a tornado or a fire is going to destroy the entire house. And that's why that weighs between 30 and 40 pounds. And I just pick it up, I go put it in the car, and then I drive to an evacuation center or a recovery center. I don't really carry that much. If I end up having to have a survival situation with a camp, I've got everything I need in there. And then that stuff comes out of the bag and makes it lighter. So it's okay for that to be 30 to 40 pounds. It's okay. But for the survival situation kit, that's different. Because now you're not thinking about my entire house is destroyed. You're thinking about fire, water, food, shelter, first aid, and a cutting tool. That's it. Now for me personally, first aid is first aid. You should have this in your car. This is a prepackaged one instead of a custom built one I did myself. And that's just fine. You should have that in your car anyway. It's just got this handy dandy little loop. You could use a carabiner or a clip to attach it to a bag if you want, or your belt. You just clip it to your belt. Whatever. But for your fire, water, food, shelter part, okay, well, yeah, I've got an emergency tent. Weighs very little for my shelter. I've got a Mylar blanket to go with it. Now, even though it's not fire, water, food, shelter, or first aid, I have a signaling device because, in a survival situation, like realistically speaking, you're not trying to evade capture from the hostile faction. You're just trying to survive the next couple of days while you are on your own. Got spare braided bank line. Got a whirl pack for water. More on that in the kit. Knots in case you're not good at tying knots. Lots of duct tape to repair my flimsy Mylar shelter and blanket. For my cutting tool, I've got the okayest of the Mora knives, which I have put an oxide layer on the blade to prevent rust. That is achieved just by dipping it in hot apple cider vinegar for letting it sit for an hour. Now, all that stuff I pulled out is on like a little belt pouch, so I could take it off of this. Now, in here, okay, let's see, I got a sharpener for my cutting tools with spare paracord. Again, lightweight, trying to hide everything in a small, compact area. Signaling and illumination, I've got chem light. Food. This is a film canister with a fishing kit, and I've got different bits of paracord on top to create fishing lures with. I've got a sewing bobbin full of fishing line held with a rubber band. Got another sewing bobbin full of braided fishing line. Got various spoons. I got a bobber. Got a sinker. And I got a couple different size fish hooks on safety pins so they don't get all messed up and tangled everywhere. Let's see. multi-tool, Swiss Army knife with saw. Got an actual map, and a pencil, and a highlighter, because that's helpful with maps. Got that wood to help me make fire. Got a larger hunk of paracord. Got my fire starter kit, but it's got a little bit extra in there, because again, this is survival kit. Remember that Whirl Pack bag? Here's my aqua tab so I can deal with water. Here is some matches with a striker for those matches. Here is a lighter. And here is a ferro rod. So I got all the different ways to make fire. Got a sewing kit. Got regular twisted strand bank line. And I got button compass to go with my map. Oh, and I forgot. I also had this brass snare wire in there. That's nothing important. This is the airbase emergency pad for you to sleep on to get you off the ground in cold weather, because the ground acts as a heat sink. And the last thing I have in there is my notepad. And it's got different useful things in there, like for my button compass so I can get a better azimuth. I've got different design traps for food to use my snare wire and bank line with. You know, like I said, I got a couple of different diagrams on traps in there. You don't have to use that. I've got different shelter configurations so that I remember how to do that, because you don't do this often. Notes happen. So I got plow point shelter, I've got lean-to shelter, I've got lean-to shelter large, and a lot of that was just stuff that I just found in an old Army survival manual, and I just sketched the diagrams out myself in my notepad. And so I have all the different things to remind me of the stuff I don't use very often. And that's the survival kit. And all of that is less than 8 pounds. And about 1/3 of its size is taken up by the first aid kit. Fire, water, food, shelter, first aid, plus signaling, and a cutting tool, even if it's just an okayest cutting tool. And there you go. You're good to go with your survival kit. But that is not your 72-hour emergency go bag. The go bag, it's okay if that's big, as long as you can carry it and put it in your car when it's time to evacuate. Like, share, subscribe. Thank you so much for watching and staying to the end, and have a great day.